I can't see the chat. Let's see. Wait a minute, wait a minute. No, I don't want to rotate. See the chat now. Let's see. Hey guys. Oh, I can see the chat. Hey. Good. I thought I wasn't going to be able to see it. Oh, already straight to the question. Okay. What happens if my candle runs out and I don't have any? What can I do? Hey guys. If your candle runs out and you don't have any, some people have been using electronic candles. I mean, I'm assuming that if you don't have any candles, then, you know, it's a matter of, you know, you don't have anything around. You can use little birthday candles. You can use tea light candles. You can use, hey guys, you can use any kind of light source you can get your hands on. I've been seeing all kinds of different innovations in the group where people are not allowed to use regular candles and they use whatever light source they have. So yeah, I mean, that's an option. So let me go back over the chat. Okay. I hope that answer suffices, Vanessa. Hey, Jean. Hey, everybody. Yeah, this is actually my 3rd or 4th live video, but I can still never get the handle of them. Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Jean says, what do you know about Santa Muerte and the connection with, I'm assuming it says, oh, like Cristo Negro. Okay. No, sorry, double R. I haven't checked my emails yet. I will get right to it as soon as this is over. Okay. Okay, that's going to be a long one, Jean. It's kind of a sensitive subject too. So I'm going to tell you what I've been told and I'm going to tell you what I know. Okay. When I was first learning about her, we stumbled across, you would probably stumble across a website from an author called Carlos Montenegro or his associates. And he's a palero. And there was a website written about different Palo entities, different Palo deities. And Santa Muerte was one of them. And the Black Christ was another. So all I can say is I'm scratched in Palo, okay? And even though I'm still very much a baby in that religion, I do know that I'm going to get in trouble for saying this, but what I do know is that Santa Muerte is not a part of that pantheon, if you want to call it that. So it leaves me to believe, now this is my opinion, leaves me to believe that everything else that was written on that webpage was also false, based off of everything that I learned, based off of everything that I was taught, that we couldn't rely solely on that author's testimony. I'm not going to say that they couldn't or aren't real entities, you know, or spirits that you can interact with, because I am 100% a believer in thought forms and the people giving spirits energy and in making them stronger. But when bringing Santa Muerte into Palo, for most paleros, it's a no-no. Not that they don't incorporate her into a separate practice, but they don't bring her into Palo. This is everything that I've learned. Listen, different houses operate different ways, okay? I cannot say that I know how every house operates. You know, things are changing every day. People's practices are changing every day. A lot of munanzos or Palo houses are going against the grain, and nobody really seems to mind and nobody's saying anything. So what they do is entirely up to them. I'm telling you what I know. And from what I know, um, the Black Christ, or the Cristo Negro, and Santa Muerte really had nothing to do with each other, but that's from what I know, okay? So I hope that answers your question. I will say that I'm not too well versed on that subject matter in particular, but I hope that that answer suffices. Let me see here. I'm scrolling. Give me just a second. Okay. Does Santa Muerte like a specific type of music? Can I party with her, listen to music and dance? I do it all the time. And you know what? I noticed that she likes the kind of music you like. Like, for example, you know, I will listen to music that you wouldn't figure. Like, I'll listen to, there's a song from Imagine Dragons called Believer. I listen to a Katy Perry song called Dark Horse, you know, or I will listen to some, sometimes I'll listen to some Spanish raps that were made from her, even though rap I'm not really big on. I'll listen to some 80s hair bands that remind me of her. It all depends on, it all depends on if you're feeling it, and if you kind of get, like, when she likes a song, you'll just, I think you'll just feel kind of like overly inspired at that moment, like kind of like somebody around you is also enjoying it, you know, like when you're at a concert and you kind of get that feel from the rest of the crowd that everybody else is having a good time and enjoying it. It sort of feels kind of like that, like you'll just kind of get like a thumbs up in your intuition that she likes something, and it's different for everybody. So the type of music she likes kind of depends on you. So let me see here. How can I'm sorry, my vision's bad. How can I have her talk to me or communicate in any way? Okay, Dawn, intuition and dreams are going to be your first line of communication, okay? They're going to be nagging feelings, or they're going to be bursts of inspiration, or they're going to be just random ideas that pop in your head that you wouldn't normally find popping in your head. They're going to be, if you meditate, they're going to be visions that you wouldn't figure, you know. It's just going to be like, where did that come from? More than likely it's her, or it's your ancestors communicating for her to you, or your guiding spirits communicating to you from her. Likely that's what happens. Many devotees report it that way. So let's see here. Hi, everybody. Glad that everybody's here, by the way. Okay, let's see. Is it true that if you leave Santa Muerte alone for a long period of time, you start to fade a bit? Example, some people say that you start to develop a cough if you leave her alone for too long. Interesting. I never heard that. Developing a cough. I know that I start coughing when she says that I'm talking too much. Yes, I've had this happen. I will admit that I have not abandoned, but ignored her for several months at a time. And it was just kind of like, it was like a slow dissipation. And throughout the entire time that I was doing that, it was for the wrong reasons. But when I was doing that, it just felt kind of like a candle was dimming, you know, like you could just feel neglect, you know, like you felt her presence there all the time, and now it's just like slowly moving away. Yes, I've had that happen. That can happen. Let's see. Yeah, it is in tune with the music. Hey, Lee, can you devote celibacy to Santa Muerte? You know, I've heard this, and it was, Paul, I've heard this when I first started looking into doing research on her. Some people will marry her. Some people will, yes, consider themselves her husband or her life partner, and they will devote themselves entirely to her. Now, I don't know how they consummate necessarily, but yes, there are people that do and have done that. Yes, I have heard of that. Yeah. The Santa Muerte reveal things like bad energies or bad relationships by visions. Yes, Elizabeth, yes. Yes, she can. She'll give you warnings. As a matter of fact, she'll give you warning after warning, and it'll sometimes come in the guise of a blockage, or sometimes come in your dreams, or sometimes you just, things won't be working out for you, and it'll kind of be in your best interest because she's trying to stop something really horrible from happening to you. I made another video saying sometimes the things that you want aren't the best for you, but that's actually her and your guides protecting you. So yeah, it can happen. Let's see. Can you work with her without an altar of her? Yeah. Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, it may sound very new agey, but a lot of people have said it, and I tend to agree. The altar starts here. I mean, think about how the people did it way back when, you know. Altar may have not been within the budget, you know. Statues may have not been within the budget. Candles may have not been something that was as easily dispersed. Am I wording that right? It may not have been as easy to collect those altar items as we have it now, and some people still can't, or for whatever reason. So I think so long as it's kind of like in church, you know, do you still have devotion to God and to Jesus or Mary or whoever if you don't have a cross in your house? A lot of people would say yes. Well, I think it's the same in this situation. So yeah, the devotion starts here. I mean, you can't always take your altar with you everywhere, you know, so it lies in your deeds, and it lies on your actions, and it evolves from your deeds between you and her. How much are you going to keep that devotion? The altar is just a physical focal point, you know, which she enjoys. But it's not something that binds the relationship between you two. So I hope that answered the question. Let's see here. Hey guys, hey everybody that's coming in. Nice to see everybody showing up. Jose says, how did you meet her? What was your first encounter? Oh, it was scary. I had known about her ever since I was a little kid because I grew up right by Mexico. Technically, if you want to argue, I live in Mexico, at South Texas. But I was always scared of the imagery, and I was always scared of the rumors. But it wasn't until about 3 or 4 years ago when I was in the middle of meditation, and I started to notice during my meditation, I started to feel an energy forming behind me when I was sitting on the couch. And I was half between a meditative and awake state when I turned around and saw a black image hovering behind me, probably about 6 feet tall. And it was kind of see-through misty, but still black. So I go, okay. And I get all freaked out. And as I'm meditating, I write things down. So I don't know if you'd consider that meditation or not, but I'm writing things down, and I wrote big, black, smoky figure standing behind me. And I was trying to contact another entity, another deity actually, and she popped up. So I turn around and I see this hooded figure standing behind me, and I'm just looking at it, and I look into the face part and all I can see really is void. When I looked at it, I just see like nothingness, blackness, whatever you want to call it, but I don't feel any kind of malevolent presence. I don't feel any kind of benevolent presence. I just feel like I'm being watched, you know, but at the same time, it almost kind of feels nurturing. Like I've always been watching you. Just now you can physically see me. So that was my first encounter. Kind of creepy, huh? So let's see here. Ooh, good one. Christian, that's a good one, you know, because I've been having dreams about spiders a lot too, more specifically black widows. And for the first time ever, see, I'm talking too much. For the first time ever, I saw one in the garage, and we never get them here. So it's funny that you bring up spiders. What can you share about that? I see spiders at my side when I'm studying. Yeah, well, from what I was told, and this is very new agey, the spider is very representative of a dark feminine. It's just kind of a dark feminine energy. That's that's really the only in-depth knowledge I have about it. Like a dark feminine is by you or around you or surrounding you. It could be good, it could be bad, it could be in between. We really can't tell until we look at the whole situation. But if the spider's not harming you, which they're usually not, I mean, you have to approach them, but usually they're not harming you, so it just means kind of like dark feminine presence, feminine power, you know, that sort of thing. I'm not trying to sound all, you know, feminist or anything, but in most new agey books and stuff like that, or like animal totems, that sort of thing, that's usually what spider represents, like a feminine power. Let's see. That's right, Santa Muerte journey. That's pretty much exactly how everything starts. You have to start with your faith, because without that, an altar will mean nothing. So let's see. Favorite crystal. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not big with crystals, but I would have to say quartz seemed to be okay. Quartz is pretty universal. Rose quartz. I noticed a pull towards that. She had me buy one. I was like, what the heck do I want a rose quartz for? Ended up going on her altar. Amethyst and probably obsidian. Those are the only ones off the top of my head that I purchased without really wanting to, and they ended up on her altar. So I can attest to those. Let's see here. Oh, you were given, okay, Jenny, you were given a statue, right? As a gift. Will it affect you if you don't believe in her? No, I don't see why not. I mean, if somebody forces it on you, that's not your fault. You know, you shouldn't feel obligated, you know. It's a cool little introductory type of thing. You know, maybe she'll come to you in the future, but I mean, she comes to us all. But you know what I mean. But I don't think that that would be any kind of offense or anything like that. I mean, some would say maybe this is her way of trying to approach you, come into your life, because she couldn't get through to you any other way. Some people might say that, but we can't force somebody to have an affinity for a spirit if they don't feel it. The thing with her is she's very patient. So if she's trying to come into your life to give you a message or teach you a lesson or just kind of help you out in general, if you're not ready now, she'll wait. I mean, she's notorious for waiting. It's kind of what she does. So yeah, don't feel guilty. Just maybe put it away or give it to somebody else, or yeah, don't feel obligated by any means, especially if you're not feeling it right now, by any means. Let's see here. Oh, that's awesome, Jose. That's badass. I've had that happen too. That's awesome. Yeah. That would freak me out, man. I thought, well, yeah, when she first comes to you, it's always going to be scary because we're so used to that imagery. First and foremost, we're so used to death being evil. You know, we have to reprogram ourselves to know that death is neutral. Death happens to everybody and everything. So if it happens to all of us, how can it be evil? Evil is in my opinion, evil can be many things, but evil in itself as a concept is man-made. I'm going to give you an example, okay? Like people say, well, demons are evil, you know, well, ghosts are evil. My opinion is that if it wasn't once human, then it likely cannot be evil. Evil is a construct we created, just as good is a construct we created, okay? Say for an example, like for example, people are saying, okay, demons are evil. In my opinion, a demon was never human. Depends on who you talk to, but this is my stance. A demon was never human. So something that was never human doesn't understand the concept of good and evil. It is what it is. The same way our ancient ancestors would consider a natural predator evil because it would prey on us. It hurts us. It could destroy us, thereby making it evil. You know, able to corrupt us. You know, able to manipulate us. Able to sway us in any which way. That's the notion of evil. If something is just doing what it's doing to survive or to thrive, the way a jaguar would eat an antelope, well, two totally different continents. The way a lion would eat an antelope does not make the lion evil or the antelope good. Perhaps I'm using this in the wrong context, but you get what I'm saying. That's why I don't consider earthbound spirits evil unless they were once human and they're doing it intentionally to be the corrupter. But death is neutral. It happens to everybody. So one of the biggest hurdles we have to go over when we start, you know, talking with her and bringing her into our lives is getting over the notion that our physical death is evil. It's not. It's just a part of life, you know? So that was one of the biggest obstacles that most of us have to get over. That and her imagery, because we perceive death as evil. The imagery of the skeleton, which we all are on the inside. That's what I love so much about it, is it's a universal image. That's evil. It's not. We think, you know, that's just it's a mindset that we've been programmed to think. So there's a lot of obstacles that we have to go over to embrace this practice. I mean, we have a lot of learning curves that we have to go through. So guys, I just want to say, don't think that you have to get all of this down overnight. It takes us a lifetime to learn all of this stuff, you know, and it depends on how much you want to learn. Is your practice going to be solely just devotional, where you're not going to be doing any works or lighting any candles or anything like that? It's purely just devotional, like you're reciprocating? Or is it going to be where you're incorporating a practice? You know, in that in itself is a learning curve. So it depends on how you see it, how you want to approach it, what your motives are, and that'll dictate how much exactly you need to learn, you know? And don't force yourself, like I said, to learn everything overnight. It takes us lifetimes. That's why they say that the older a person is, the more wise they are. They had a lifetime to learn what they know, you know? So anyway, sorry, off on a tangent. Let me get to these questions. Let's see here. I've missed a lot of comments. I'm sorry, my bad, guys. Okay. Do you have to be chosen? You don't have to be chosen, and you can have a general interest, but most people will report that out of nowhere, they're just having all of these interactions with her. So thereby indicating that she might have chosen them, you know, for whatever reason. But no, I mean, if you have a general interest, that in itself might indicate that you have been chosen. It could be. So, can I pray to her in her other godly forms? I wouldn't see why not. Yeah. I'm not entirely sure what you mean by other godly forms, but by all means, if you're praying to her, you're praying to her. So yeah, I don't see why not. Yeah. Spiders have to do with weavers of life and fate. If you believe Santa Muerte holds knowledge of your life and death, spiders make sense. Very good. See, we learned something new today. Okay, Lee. So I'm trying to incorporate a Boveda. with Santissima for my ancestors, how would one go about starting that? That's a long question. A Boveda, in case some of you don't know, is a, let me see if I get this right, is a Puerto Rican and Cuban practice? Or is it just Puerto Rican or just Cuban? I think it's Puerto Rican. I'm going to get in trouble. It's a Puerto Rican practice in which, it's a lot to describe. You basically set up a white table. It's a table with a white sheet with a bunch of cups and a fishbowl in the center, usually with a crucifix inside the center. And each cup is supposed to represent a different type of spirit. It's the whole thing itself is supposed to be representative of your spiritual court, your spiritual cuadro, as they call it, your spiritual frame. So basically, as opposed to the one guiding spirit that a lot of us are used to hearing about that we have, in this instance, you would have a bunch of different types. You could have gypsies, you could have Arabs, you could have Indians, you could have Congos, you could have, what else? Just kind of like different types of spirits that are in your court. And what they'll do is they'll set up this table with all these cups of water, and the cups of water are kind of like a filtration, cleansing, it's like a conduit, and it cleans, but not only that, but it also creates contact and communication. Water is the essence of life. Water is the great medium. Water is what we were all birthed from, kind of thing. So there's a big, huge emphasis put on these water cups and who and what they're supposed to represent. When you're having those two practices together, I've found I keep them separate. And the reason that is because when you're dealing with these, you could likely be dealing with spirits. It's hard to say. This could only be my experience, but spirits that don't want to be too close to death. Maybe they don't want it as a reminder, or maybe they think that they don't want to be around it as reminiscent about it, or whatever the case may be. Bottom line, I had to move mine separate rooms from each other. It could be that she might not get along with a spirit or two in your cuadro, in your spiritual court, but it's a very complicated practice. It's not something that I can just describe really quickly in this video. It's not something that too many, I'm going to say maybe Mexicans. It's not something that I've seen too many Mexicans practice. I don't think it's too big in Mexico. It's not really a Mexico thing, or I would have seen more of it because I'm heavily influenced by Mexico where I live. But the first time I heard of it was recently. So yeah, I think you might have to keep them separate. That's my experience. So, I mean, you can ask an espiritista. You can look up espiritistas and ask them what they recommend. But likely they're going to be like, I'm going to stay away from the death entity. They deal with death all the time because they're mediums. They're connecting with those spirits. They're connecting with the dead. But for the most part, the feel I get is they kind of like, we acknowledge it, but we're not going to focus and hone in on it. Like, we're not going to make it the center of our practice. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that's kind of the opinion that I got. Let's see here. Let me see. Sorry for all my scrolling. Okay. How do you know she is liking the offering you're giving her? I think, Stormy, that depends on the offering. Like, if it's perishables, it'll probably last longer on the altar than it normally would. If it's liquids, they'll disappear quicker than they normally would evaporate. You'll get a general feeling of maybe warmth around you. You just kind of feel like warmth happiness, acceptance, like a nurturing kind of feeling whenever you make that offering. That's been the experience that I've seen with most devotees. Excuse me. Wow, what does it mean when your Santa Muerte statue or other things on your altar flies off? Like, flies off? Woo! I think it's time for a limpia. I think it's time to clean the house and to clean the altar and to clean the statues. That's some like poltergeist stuff right there. There's an angry spirit in your house. Either that or she's or she doesn't like something on the altar. It could go either way. That's something I think maybe you need to ask her. I've never had that happen. Like mine, her scythe will move. And it's not because of the aircon either, but it'll move back and forth. And usually it's an indicator. It tells me what's up. But I've never seen, but I've heard stories of people that the stuff flies off their altar. That, if it flies off their altar, I think it's usually indicative of the fact that she doesn't like it. Like hardcore doesn't like it. Try putting it on the altar again. I hate to say, but try putting it on the altar again and see if it flies off. I think that means that she doesn't like it. Just like if it flies off one more time, just take it off and keep it off. Hopefully nothing is broken. So I think that's what I would do. That's what I would do. Does Santa Muerte not work if you do not have a statue but you burn her candles? Yeah. Her statues and those sort of things, Sonia, her statues and those sort of things, they're just really focal points. They're things that she likes and things that she adores because she loves her material things just the same way we do. But they're mainly just focal points for us, and they're vessels that she can inhabit, like her essence can inhabit. But that doesn't break the connection between you and her. It doesn't make or break the connection between you and her. So like if you don't have it, from my experience, it's totally cool. It's fine. So long as you keep up with your connection with her. I think it's fine. Yeah. Notice that some some alcohols go faster than other. And I mean, let's be honest, some alcohol is going to evaporate faster than others because some are more dense than others. But if you put a whole cup of tequila on her altar and it disappears within like 2 days, then, like that's a little strange, don't you think? And people had that happen. So that's how you know she really likes it, And you know what? There will be some days where it'll evaporate or get drank quicker than others. Some days she wants some drinks, and some days she wants other drinks. I will notice that it'll cycle between liquor and coffee. Alcohol and coffee. Or Coke, like Mexican Coke, or even regular Coca-Cola here in America. It'll, like, I don't feel like that today. I want this today. I don't feel like that today. I want this today. I notice that. So let's see. Lee with the Boveda, ask her. I mean, because everybody's experience is different. Ask her. You can ask her if you want to ask her right now. Try through divination. Like, try connecting with her and asking her through divination, or try meditation. Because honestly, my opinion, my experience was they didn't want to be anywhere around each other. It's just, it would be like a lot of those spirits of the spiritual cuadro are elevated, and they might be reminded of their death, and death to them, even though very holy, they might not have the same feel about it. They might not have the same emotions about it, because they may be elevated spirits, but they still carry a lot of their human emotions. A lot of them do. So they might take any kind of grudges or any kind of fears or any kind of emotions that they had about Santa Muerte in general, or death, or whatever the case may be. They might carry that with them. So my personal opinion would be to keep them separate. But, I mean, you do as you please. But I think you might get a not so great result if you have them together. I tried that several times, did not work. So that's my take on it. Let's see here. Let's see. I'm scrolling, guys. I'm trying to keep up. Let's see. Agree. Manny, you're funny. Yes, you inspired me to make my first Santa Muerte statue. I made her dress out of old Lucky strip. That's cool. That's awesome, vegan dolls. That's a great idea. Look at all these innovative ideas. She loves that, by the way. Whenever you hand make a personal project, just pulls on her heartstrings, as they say. Good. I'm glad, Jose, I'm glad you never saw her as evil. That's a hurdle I had to get over. And I understand my friend's devotion to her, but I've never looked into her. I'm glad you helped me. I've been watching your videos. Thank you very much, Jenny. I appreciate that very much. Elizabeth, there is a lot to learn. Believe me. You'll keep busy for the rest of your life learning about her. Sister Baba, can I practice Santeria, honor my Orishas while honoring? You know, this has come up a lot recently, and I think she's okay with it. You can ask her personally yourself. You can ask her. But I think she's okay with Ocha. But with Palo's a different story. I can get on that later, but I mean, I would prefer to talk to a few more paleros before I go on about that subject. But I think she's okay with Santeria. I'm pretty sure. Like I said, you can ask her. Or you can ask your Orishas how they'd feel about her. But just remember, please, you have to keep them separate. Please, because there is a chance that they could maybe fight. Because she's so jealous. So, let's see here. I'm scrolling. Thanks, Moses. From Texas to have a Santa Muerte, and one time I was smoking a cigarette and I blew smoke and decided to take a pic, and while I'm looking at the pic there's a skull. Nice, Jesus. Nice. Happens a lot, by the way. Yes, the Boveda was a, from what I understand, is a Puerto Rican adaptation of Allan Kardec's teachings. Yes. That's right. Okay. Hey everybody who's just joining. Ooh, good one, Angie. I'm glad you brought this up. I don't know if this means anything, but I always see shadows in my kitchen living room where I have her altar. Last week I was giving offerings and I went to bathe and all my lights blew out and the shadow was there. Okay, there's a couple of things. Guys, right now during the dark time of the year, I know it sounds really new agey and stuff, but right now during the dark time of the year, you're gonna see shadows. I mean, there's gonna be several different types. Some are kind of like a recording. If you ever watched Ghost Hunters, you'll know what I'm talking about. Some are unintelligent. They're going to play out whether you like it or not, but you cannot really interact with them. They're just a recording. The other kind are intelligent, where you can interact with them. You know, and then there's the other kind that they do more than interact. They move your stuff around. And then the other kind after that is they get violent. I have certain theories about the ones that you can interact with and the ones that get violent. I think that they are forgotten spirits that are getting pissed because they are stuck between realms and they have no help. Or at least they think they have no help. That's how I see it. That's my opinion. But the shadows, yes, I see them all the time. I've already gotten used to them. Some people are afraid. But you know, guys, let's be honest. When we come into this practice, we are opening up our gates. We're making our antennas go higher. And it's like we're going from our house to a crowded mall. Once we open up to the spiritual world, I don't know why I did this, but once we open up to the spiritual world, we are making ourselves visible to the invisible. We are making ourselves like a cell phone tower and just picking up all these different frequencies, you know, all these different voices, all these different things just coming to us, and we're seeing this and we're hearing that and we're smelling this and we're feeling this. It's bound to happen. So it's almost kind of like when we get into this, we're being forced into being psychic in different ways. It's a big burden to bear. But the best form of therapy is, give me just a second. The best form of therapy is exposure. Okay. But yeah, that's bound to happen. I'm sorry to say, when we're at the dark part of the year, for some reason, I guess it's just because it's the more dead part of the year, we're mainly just going to be seeing dead people who don't want to move on, or who, you know, they miss their loved ones and they just don't want to transition over because they want to be here. You know, I would want to be here if I, like, say out of nowhere, you know, you got into a car accident and you don't even know you're dead. Of course I'd want to stay here. You know, but in that process, I'm likely going to bump into these living strangers who are going to see me and freak out, you know? So, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a little bit sympathetic, but yeah, it's going to happen. So, we just have to get used to it, unfortunately. So, let's see here. Scrolling, sorry. No problem, Lee. There you go, Jose. That's a good answer. Damn, whole cup of tequila. That's insane. Any tips? Ooh, where do you want to start? Don't be afraid and keep learning. Keep learning. Observe everybody's experience because they're all going to teach you something. That's for Carlos Torres. Not sure if you recall our convo on blood sacrifice. I was also told it could mean she wants me to give myself completely to her. Thing is, I thought I did. Is there something in particular to say? Grace, that's kind of hard. I would think that you already did too. You know, we have to be very careful, guys, because sometimes spirits disguise themselves. Just double check, Grace. Double check, make sure that it's her. You know, kind of test the waters. Pay attention to your dreams. Like, think about your question before your dreams. Make sure you protect yourself, however it is that you protect yourself in your house. And focus and hone in solely on her and ask her, was that you? Why is it that you want me to do this? Because I wish I had a better answer for you, but the whole blood thing is still very new to me. But the truth is that there is lots of involvement in inner circles, but I'm not a part of those inner circles, so I can't tell you for sure. I do know that blood is very serious. And somebody brought up today, which is something I was thinking too. Why would death want blood? They're already going to get your blood when you die. It made no sense to me either. But yeah, some people swear that it's her and she wants blood. So what can I say? You know, but yeah, you might want to check with her, Grace. Just do some divination or do a meditation or check your dreams. Ask her before you go to bed. You know, make sure you keep yourself guarded, but ask her before you go to bed and see what she says about wanting to do that. You know, hopefully it is her and it's not some kind of trickster spirit, because I've had that happen. Not with her specifically, but with another entity. Oh, thanks, Moses. What do you do with her offerings? I'd say after about a week, or when you notice that they start to rot, just depending. After they start to rot, just if you can give them to animals, give it to animals. But like if it's chocolate, don't give it to dogs, because dogs can't have chocolate. If it's any kind of cream or dairy, don't give it to animals because a lot of them are allergic. You can put them by a tree. You can, like if it's chocolates and stuff like that, just throw them in the trash. Do not eat them. Pretend that she already ate it. Like if you're taking it off the altar, just pretend she ate it. Just pretend it's not even there. And just, if it's edible for animals, give it to animals, except for chocolate and dairy. And if it's glass or liquids, just put liquids by a tree or something, so long as they're not going to kill it. But like water and all that stuff, just put it by a tree. Or with the glass, you can reuse it for something, or you can throw it in the trash. I mean, it depends on what you want to do. Some people bury it even. I don't bury it because what if I step on it later? So yeah, that's some things you can do. Renee, yeah, I want to, because so many paleros also honor Santa Muerte. And I have a real affinity for that religion in particular, and also Ocha and Ifa and Voodoo and everything else. I have a real affinity for all of them, and I would like to know a palero's standpoint. I know the general feel, but I've noticed something lately, and I want to get somebody else's opinion. As a matter of fact, get a plethora of people's opinions on if the same instance is happening to them too. I don't want to disclose it just yet, but I will definitely look into it for sure. Yeah. Jose, that's something that we went over recently, is that sigil. Some people use it. Some people are highly against it. I personally don't use it because I'm highly respectful of Palo, and I wouldn't even really, I don't see myself approaching that symbol with the full respect, that I would need to approach it with, because I don't know, I just kind of, I'm stuck in the mindset of one belongs to one belongs to the other, and they're different. Sorry. All right, I hope you guys can see me. My stream got interrupted. I don't know why. Maybe because I was talking about something I wasn't supposed to. But let me scroll. Yes, but I would like to do a conversation on that later. Still hasn't given me signs that she's forgiven me, but at the same time, she gives me that I'm not mad at you when she doesn't want me to give her away. Well, that's good. I consider that a sign, wouldn't you, Tony? She doesn't want me to give her away. So, she's probably just got her arms crossed and she's just waiting for you to kiss her butt some more. I can say that, right? Yeah, mine was the same way. Yeah, she did the same thing. Yeah, shadow people, they just, they're just watchers. They don't even really interact with you. There we go. It is important to have practice protection. If you feel these shadows are negative, if you ask for Santa Muerte to reveal herself and not scare you, and the shadows stop, it was her. If they don't, it was not her, and you will know that. There you go. There's a great answer. I suppose she says, I'm not mad at you, but not going to grant your favors. Just give me my offerings and pay attention to me mostly. Well, what should I do about this? I'm confused. Don't be confused at all, because that totally sounds like her. She wants to get her cake and eat it too, guys. Seriously. Just keep praying to her, honoring her. Talk to her, tell her. I mean, I'm pretty sure you have, but talk to her and tell her, look, we can do this cyclical stuff all day long, but I need you to tell me, fill in the blank. If you want to give her an ultimatum, it's up to you. Some people do. They say, I want you to tell me within 3 days' time, if this and this and this and this and this. I will be open and accepting signs from you, but you need to tell me within 3 days' time, or else yada yada yada. Then you kind of go into a threatening standpoint. It's not really threatening, but it's more like you're crossing your arms back. you know? I mean, and with her, guys, they call her cabrona for a reason. That means like cabrona. uh, Put it in English. Cabrona is kind of like, to put it mildly, it means stubborn. I guess you can say that. But yeah, they call her stubborn for a reason because she does that. She does things like that. That's what's so. I know you're frustrated, but that's what's so awesome about her because she's got such a personality all her own. But yeah, just tell her like, really, you need to tell me right now. You know, just approach her with that attitude. I know you're trying to be respectful and everything, but sometimes you, with her, remember, guys, she's on your level, you know, like talk to her the way you would talk to an elder, but be straight up. You know, people cuss with her, people party with her, people talk with her like any other person a lot of times. So be straight up. If you honestly think that she doesn't know how you're feeling, she knows. So just tell her what's up. I'm not sure what you mean, Carlos Torres, by any good tips because the comments are appearing in different orders. I'm trying to scroll past them and see what I missed. Yeah, Orlando's right. The santeros in Haitian voodoo practitioners, paleto practitioners, when it's the end of the year, to do a lot of cleansing and purifications to wash away all the year's negative. Oh yeah, they do that pretty frequently. Um, Baco, that's a good question, and we were just talking about that today. A lot of people do. It keeps interrupting. But yes, Baco, a lot of people do consider the tattoo a blood offering. Yes. I'm getting one cell. Let's see here. Any candle tips for Santa Marta or specific prayers? Pro team, prayers are best when they come from you. You can Google prayers all day long, but they're best if you say them from your side and say them from your heart. Those are the best ones. Candle tips. Don't oversaturate them with oil. uh, Not really. Just you can use any candle you want. You don't. It doesn't have to be the 7 day. You know. Um, just before you light the candle to her, pray to her. You know, hold the candle and think about her before you light it. Tell her what your intention is when you're lighting it. If it's just devotional, tell her this is purely just devotional, just for you, and light the candle. Oh, wooden matches. Do not use a regular lighter. A lot of people will say this. I don't exactly know the reason why. I think it's because wood is more natural, but she does not like regular lighters. I don't know why. Some people will use them and they're fine with it, but a lot of devotees say that she does not like using, you know, a synthetic tool, a lighter. She likes matches. That's all I can tell you. Yeah. I think a lot of us are taking that route, Baco. A lot of us are getting the tattoos. Just, she gives me weird signs like I'm not mad at you, and then I don't feel like answering your petitions. Yeah, Tony, she can, that, like I said, that's why they call her cabrona. Just don't lose faith. Just keep trying. I'm pretty sure, you know, she's just acting up. She tends to do that. Um, Gucci. Yeah. So long as you have their permission, yeah, you can totally pray at somebody else's altar. Just know that they have their own specific energies at that altar. So just be careful, okay? So long as you have their permission, though. Hey, Drew. I know, Tony. I know that's how she can be. They like a name for a reason. Yeah, Jose, we will. We'll get to it later. How do I get cleansed in a powerful way, meaning to get rid of the bad or evil entities? Onyx. If you've ever heard of a spiritual bath, I mean, you can do one at home. There's so many. Sorry, my leg's going up. There's so many herbs that you can use. Primarily, try to get your hands on some rue. Get your hands on some. You can just use salt water. You can use holy water. You can use Florida water and water. Don't use that much Florida water because ooh, that stuff burns. You can use garlic. You can use basil. You can use rosemary. Um, What else? Like I said, just you can even just use basic salt water. They hate salt water. They hate salt. That comes from for a real reason. And the smell of rue, whew, it's enough to frighten any ghost away or any dark entity away. But yeah, you can use all those things, mix them with water, and go like you're gonna take a shower. Take take the like a big bowl of the water and the herbs or whatever it is that you mixed in there. Light a couple of tea light candles on either side of your bathtub. Remember what it is that you're trying to do. Remember that you're trying to clean yourself. And then you're going to get some of that water and you're going to pour it on your head. Make sure you get back here on the back of the neck because I'm getting real sick of these interruptions. It is believed that entities will attach to the back of your neck. So make sure you get that specifically. Okay. And wipe down, wipe away from you. When you're taking a shower, go like this and wipe and wipe and wipe and wipe away. Like you're wiping it away from your body like this when you're taking a shower. Just pour those herbs on you. Make sure those herbs don't clog your bathtub though. But that's how you wipe away. You can just get a bottle of Florida water if you want to. Careful because it stings, because it's a lot of alcohol. You can get it and wipe your neck like this because it's believed that that's where they attach. You'll notice a lot of people say they have headaches and neck aches when they claim that an entity is attached to them. Wipe it off. And if you have that Boveda set up, the cups of water, or even just get a cup of water, wipe into the cup of water. Wipe into the water. The water flushes away. And just get it off your arms like this, like if you're dusting yourself off. And that's how most, yes, do a test on your skin. Very good. Very good. Yes, do a test on your skin. Make sure you're not allergic to the herbs or to the alcohol. Very good. That's why I brought up the alcohol burning, because ooh, you get some a lot on your skin and it's like, it burns for a while. But yeah, you can do a cleaning yourself. Or you can go to a local spiritualist and ask them to do a cleaning for you. Let's see here. Excuse me. Okay, I hope that helped, Onyx. I hope that helped. How do you know if it's really, I guess her that is coming to you? Because I have seen her and she don't scare me at all, but it's like she is always around me and I love it. But how do I know if it's her? Tika, I think that's indicative enough, or that could be your ancestors, but you can ask her in a dream, you can ask her with meditation if that's really her, and if you get kind of like this aha kind of acknowledgement feeling, then likely it's her. That's how a lot of us do it. So I wanted to get a tattoo of her on the right leg, but there's obstacles in the same person telling me. Yeah, no rush, Tony. You don't have to rush. Drew, thank you so much. It's 3 a.m. where you're at. Oh my God. It's barely like close to 10 over here. Yeah, a lot of us are getting tattoos. Growing up, we used oil lamps to her with mechitas. I'm not sure what's a mechita. And I empty Goya can of beans, so definitely you can use whatever you have at your disposal. That's right. That's right. You can use whatever you got there. Hey, Drew. How do I know if it's a sign, and how do I know if my offering is good enough for her, and how don't know if she likes it or not, and how do I set up her on their altar? That's a lot of questions, Tika. I have a couple of videos if you want to search in the past on how you can set up her altar, but ultimately at the end of the day, it's however you want to set it up and however she agrees that you want to set it up. How do you know if it's a sign? You'll get an affirmed feeling, like your intuition will be tingling that it's her, you know, like it's one of those things like you just know. Yeah, you will definitely know. You'll know your offering is good enough because it'll stay intact. It won't rot quick. It won't fall on the floor. You'll get a feeling of acceptance. A lot of this is like you just get this inner knowing that she accepted it, you know, or you'll get dreams the next night. And most of the time, I deal with harmful entities and this. Nope, problem, Onyx, and try to do my best. But there's plenty of resources out there on cleaning and limpias. Feel free to look them up. A lot of them are with eggs too, so feel free to check that out. There you go. Selenite wands, that'll work too. A lot of people swear by crystals. Yes, crystals that absorb negative energy. Yep. Ooh, good luck, Moses. You'll be in my prayers, and I hope you heal very quickly, and I hope you're up and at 'em very quickly. Thank you for watching us, and thank you for staying tuned with us for so long. Have you ever experienced the Grim Reaper? If so, what is his energy like compared to La Flaca? That's a good one, Paco. That would be what, like San La Muerte? Apparently he's more raw. Apparently he's gonna be more subterranean kind of feel. He's gonna be a little bit more kind of like an Aries energy. Like the best I can describe is raw. I personally don't think that I've ever experienced his essence, but I know some people that have, and they said that he's very raw, as opposed to her, who's very kind of nurturing and ha ha, a little bit lighthearted. Like she has her moments where she can be, you know, but but he's gonna be like not mischievous, but how would you say in Spanish, fuerte, you know, like rough and strong. His energy's way more thick and masculine, you know what I mean? That sounded wrong. But yeah, that's what I've been told. Jay Banks, like I said earlier, just anything that's edible other than chocolates and dairy, give it to the animals, you know, or put it under a tree. Chocolates and dairy, probably best to just throw it away. Anything glass, you can save it, reuse it. Anything liquids, if it's not bad for the environment, just put it back in the ground. So yeah. I hope YouTube doesn't keep turning off. My bad. I'm already at an hour. I'm just gonna keep it running for a few more minutes, okay, guys? Because my phone keeps shutting off. Let's see here. Also, I keep running into La Santa Muerte, and I've tried to approach her, but she leaves. She leaves whenever I get near. How can I approach her? Really? That's a good question. Try meditation. Try meditation where you can you can kind of trap her in your own little cell of a world within your subconscious, and maybe you can talk to her better there. You can also try divination, but when you're trying to talk to a physical apparition, that's going to be difficult. Because remember, she definitely has more control than you do. You're very limited in this physical form, so that's going to be hard. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's not. It's going to be hard to try. I mean, look how hard ghost hunters try to catch a physical apparition on TV, you know. Now you're talking about this, the essence of death is she can do whatever she wants. Keep trying. That's all I can tell you is keep trying, you know. Tell her, I'm going to be here at this designated time. I'm going to be ready for you. I'm going to talk to you at this designated hour, and I want you to come talk to me, and I want you to come to me to communicate with me at this time. Kind of like set up a date, an appointment with her. Maybe she'll abide by that, you know, because she's probably just playing with you. She does that a lot. So that's for Onyx. What are the updates on your public altar shrine I wish? Oh, thanks, Don. We just got to do the floors. We already have the funds to do them. My husband got a real bad wound on his arm, and I'm going to be honest, he's the one doing the construction. So we're just waiting for his wound to heal, and after he's done healing, he's doing the floors. And I'm happy to report I will have at least a few figurines in there, and I will take you on a little tour, and we'll start, you know, putting up petitions in there. I'm going to set up like a little camera, hopefully, so that I can monitor it when I'm not in there, and we'll be good to go. So yeah, it's just the floors. I'm just waiting for his cut to heal because it's big. Waiting for that to heal because I don't know how to do floors, guys. So I'm waiting for him. So yeah, that's it, really. No problem, Tony. Let's see here. Palo Santo smoke is awesome. I can't believe I hadn't smelled it before 2 weeks ago. Oh my god, it is heavenly. Yes, it is. I see her, I feel her around. I also see her with my dad, and she always loves her, likes to come with flowers and roses. I see Reaper female, and she's also likes to test me at times. Yeah, Tika, she can test people. That's actually what she does pretty well. Yeah, totally normal. I didn't know this was live, and now I'm waiting to see what message she wanted me to hear. She has been popping up for me in the kindest way lately. That's good. Tia? Tia, that's God. That's good. She's very motherly. But she can, I'm not going to say trickster, but she can test you. But believe me, guys, it's always for the best. Believe me, in every circumstance, when you get tested, it's always for the best. Believe me. See, by the way, you're a great leader. I can ask for a better leader. Follow New York. Very great leader, Tessa. Tika, thank you guys. Because if it wasn't for you guys, then I'd have nobody to talk to. No, I just wanted to share my experience with you guys. Because you know what? When I first started this, I wasn't getting the help. You know, nobody was wanting to help me. Oh, yeah. There was egotistical people out there saying, well, if you want help, you got to pay me $200, $300 for this and this and this, which you could find for free online, by the way. You know, it just, man, if I'm going through something, I want you guys to know about it so that you're prepared. You know, I mean, it's the humanitarian thing to do. So I want to thank you guys for being here and for watching, because you're helping me and you're helping my practice and you're helping everybody else who's watching this. So thank you guys. I just want you to know that. Oh yeah, seeing her in your dreams. I love hearing stories about her being in dreams because she appears so many different ways. Okay, Drew. Yeah, definitely. If there's anything you missed, come watch it again. I hope YouTube uploads this properly. My cats jumped on her altar and broke one of my statues. And she broke. I glued her together. I could still use her. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Romero, yeah. I don't see why you couldn't still use her, of course. I know how the cats are, believe me. If you burn Palo Santo, a cinnamon stick at the same time, it smells like, oh, dude. I'm so trying that tonight. I'm so trying that. That sounds relaxing as hell. She keeps coming in the form of a butterfly. I've been seeing those a lot too. If it makes sense, and it always the same species, and she keeps coming around like she's spectating, and she's been taking a lot of loved ones. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that second part, Onyx. But you know, they also say that loved ones appear as butterflies. I've read that recently. I love her. She's the best. Proud to be a devotee. You're awesome. Give the great work. Thank you. Yukita, thank you. Thank you very much. Videos really helped me in the beginning. I was terrified, and naturally I ran to the internet. As we all did, Buckle. As we all did. I'm so happy that we have that now. Aren't you grateful that we have that now? Hope that for his speedy recovery. Thank you, my new follower. Thank you so much for your knowledge and humbleness. You're very welcome, Monica, and thank you for watching. And let's hope that he does have a speedy recovery, because I want that altar to be, the shrine to be finished. And thank you, everybody who's donating. I want to thank you so much. And you don't have to. I mean, it's my pleasure to do these live videos. Thank you very, very, very much. First time I prayed to her, I asked her for her to reveal herself to me, and in return I devoted my life to her. Aw, that's sweet. Yeah. For some people, that's all it takes. It just takes one small act, one miracle, and they're hooked. They're devoted. I mean, dude, I gotta tell you guys this. Oh my god. He's gonna get so mad. Okay, as you know, my husband, he follows his own path, okay? But I asked her to show herself to him. He saw her 24 hours later at work, okay? He sent me a picture, okay? I hope you guys can hear me. He sent me a picture of a skeletal figure with dreads in his locker. It ended up just being coat and all these other little things in his locker. But when he sent the image, it looked like a skeleton face. And he was like, I gotta show you something. That's because I asked her to show herself to him because I was so frustrated. Because at the time, I wanted him to believe the same thing as me, you know? But I mean, you get over that after a while. You accept people for who they are. But I was like, oh, really? You saw her, huh? And he's like, well, I don't know what I saw. I was like, you saw her and you know it. And he was like, well, maybe. But she'll do stuff like that, you know? And it's hilarious because she's like, oh, this guy doesn't believe in me? Well, we'll just see from here, you know? So, yeah. I just wanted to share that. And see, I saw her in a dream back in red, and it was completely black inside her row, and this was before I knew about her. Yeah, I saw the completely black too. It was like just void, sort of. Can you please send this video to me? Why I can have it over in my dreams as well, and the outside with her or the graveyard when out to visit with or without family. Yeah, Tika, this video should be available for posting wherever you want to on YouTube. So yeah, as soon as it's done, yeah, feel free to get the link. Thank you, Grace. But I've been like this since I was a kid, and I'm not scared for him, both male and female. Yeah, and Tika, that's good because a lot of us were, and a lot of us still are. It's something that we're getting over, you know. It's kind of like not judging a book by its cover, you know what I mean? So guys, I'm gonna be on here for like a few more minutes, and then I gotta go. I gotta put my son to bed. But this was fun. Maybe we should do this more often, you know? It's 10 o'clock here. I don't know where it is where you guys are, but I had fun. This is really fun. Am I scared of her? Mm-hmm. To me, she's a very... Am I scared of her? Plain and simple? I can be. Because I know what she can do. Now, I'm not saying specifically about the, you know, reaping. Not that I believe that she does the killing. I believe she's more of a chauffeur. But I'm scared of her vast capabilities that she has that I don't. Her being in the spiritual realm and the earthly realm, and me just being this physical flesh. So yeah, I'm scared of any spirit that has free reign that I don't have. So yeah, I can be, but I'm not scared of like her imagery or anything like that so much anymore. When I feel her or see her, no, you know what? When I feel her and see her, it's so nurturing that I can't be scared. Guys, because I see reapers by my bed all the time. I see all kinds of entities around the house all the time. It is literally like exposure therapy. Like you get over it after a while. And she comes to the foot of my bed a lot. Usually it happens around the dark moon time, you know? And I'll just see a reaper there standing by the window. Now, it might not be her. It might just be a reaper type spirit. But they just look over at me. And they look in the window. And then they just disappear. And I'm like, oh, you had to wake me up for that. And then I just go to bed. But I see them all the time. Yeah. Uh-oh, you got into an argument over the necklace and said I needed a cleansing. I defended her. I had to drop it. I would love your nose. Sure, Monica, it's grave.ghoul. Don't make fun of me. It's an old alias. grave.ghoul@gmail. You can email me anytime. Okay, good night, Santa Muerte Journey. Thank you for joining us. It was fun. Have a good night. Before I go to sleep, I always ask her for answers, and sometimes the dreams I have are kind of confusing. Like I get the answer, but then I'm a little confused. Oh yes, that always happens. You know what helps? Third-party perspective. Ask somebody else to help you interpret it, because sometimes the answer is so obvious that we don't see it in front of our face. Okay, good night, Grace. Thank you for joining us. No problem, Stormy. That's what I'm here for. Thank you. I appreciate it. So humbled. Let me see here. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate everybody that watches because I love your guys' feedback. All of your guys' different experiences just, they make this experience worthwhile. You know what I mean? What do you do when family offends her right in front of you? I've had that happen. I've had that happen where family talks crap right in front of her altar. I was like, I think I got more offended than she possibly could. But you have to let it go. I mean, I hate to say it like this, but if she was truly offended, they'll get theirs. It sounds so bad saying it like that. If she, I can't say for certain. I'm not in your situation, like I'm not in your house. But they're like, es satánico, es un demonio, it's a demon, it's satanic, you need to take this blasphemous thing off. Likely they might get a slap on the hand. I mean, if you offend somebody that you consider family or that you care about, there's really nothing, you're limited. You can stand there and you can say, well, I don't know, what your deal is. I don't know what it is that you don't understand. But let me tell you that, this entity means the world to me. And if you don't like it, you can back off kind of situation. But she is going to intervene probably better than you can and probably very quickly after they insult her. I hate to say it like that because it makes her sound so vindictive, but she can be. It's the truth. So they're better off minding their P's and Q's. Because let's just put it this way. If they wouldn't want it said about their belief system, they shouldn't say it about somebody else's. So, I'm going to have to go here in just a second. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much. I want to get to all your comments. I'm scrolling. I got to go here in just a second. Hi, how did you come to know her and want to have her? Ooh, Veronica, that's a long story, but basically I came to her in a meditation. But I've known about her my entire upbringing. I was raised in a Catholic household around a lot of Mexican culture. Okay, slap that hoe. She keeps showing up in my future vision and dreams. If that makes sense, I feel like she is a source of my future vision. Onyx, she very much could be opening you up. Yeah. Thank you, Romero. I appreciate that. That happened to my Santa Muerte, and the lady's marriage was not doing too good. She offended my Santa Muerte statue, and then that happened to her marriage. I'm telling you. I've been asking to feel her presence tonight while praying to her. I got this feeling in my chest, like I guess a tingling. Do you think that was what you're saying? It very well could be. If it was an odd or strange sensation that you've never felt before, very much could be. Janet, yeah. The ancient burial land intensifies spiritual communication to entities. Oh, Baco, definitely. I asked because my home is, but at the same time, my family is highly sensitive spiritually. Well, then you got a twofer, Baco. There's really not much you can do about it now. You're pretty much doomed to have that sensitivity for the rest of your life. I mean, you can learn to shut it off, but why would you want to? So, can you make another video of your offering and altar and your roses and the waterfall for her that you have in there? I can update it, but I kind of changed it around. She wanted to be inside, so that outdoor pond now belongs to a different statue, so to speak. So mainly now she's just inside until the outdoor one gets finished. So yeah, it got moved. Santa Muerte stuff outside and on her altar. Also have a few cards on a drawing. I have the art on her altar. I think if she's comfortable with being outside, then by all means, there are outdoor shrines to her everywhere, all over Mexico. So I think so long as she's the center spotlight, then she's content. She's happy. So yeah. But guys, I gotta go. It's already been an hour and 20 minutes. I gotta put my son to bed. I want to thank everybody for joining me. And maybe we can do another one of these maybe like in a month. And we'll see how that goes, okay? All right, well, I'm going to end this. And if you leave a comment after after this is done, I'll do my best to try to get to your comment. You can email me and at my Gmail address. It's grave.ghoul. Don't make fun of me. And if you have any questions, or I have a Facebook page called Madrina Santísima Muerte. You can join that too. Go like that page and I can get back to you on there too. So that's about it for now. Good night. And YouTube should load this up, and it should be uploaded probably in the next 10 minutes or so. So that's about it for now. We'll see you next time. Good night.